Hey y'all. Okay, y'all, what I want to show y'all is crazy. Alright, now this is down here in Florida where I live. However, I don't live in this town or the county, or I don't live in Biscayne Park, okay, but this is still in Florida, and it makes me sick to know that this is what has been going on in this town for however long this man has been police chief, okay. This guy, Raimundo Tiziano, okay, he is the chief of police in Biscayne Park, alright? And this guy told the rest of the officers, hey, let's, just go arrest random black people so we can get our stats up. He wants a perfect arrest stat. Like, he wants everything to be closed and solved, okay? Which is ridiculous. It's not solving anything, because now the people who killed, robbed, raped, or whatever the crime was, they're still out on the loose, because you have arrested innocent men, or innocent people, I guess I should say, just innocent people, period. It's ridiculous. Alright, we'll watch this little short video in a second. Let me turn this down. Turn this off. Okay. We'll watch this video in just a second. First, I want to show y'all this article. This is just mind-blowing. Just mind-blowing, okay? Let's see. This article was actually written, I believe, on July 12th, okay? Says the chief wanted perfect stats, so cops were told to pin crimes on black people, the probe found. The indictment was damning enough. A former police chief of Biscayne Park and 2 officers charged with falsely pinning 4 burglaries on a teenager just to impress village leaders with a perfect crime-solving record. But the accusations revealed in federal court last month left out far uglier details of past police practices in tranquil Biscayne Park, a leafy wedge of suburbia just north of Miami shores. Records obtained by the Miami Herald suggest that during the tenure of former Chief Raimundo Tiziano, the command staff pressured some officers into targeting random black people to clear cases. If they have burglaries, they are open cases that are not solved yet. If you see anybody black walking through our streets and they have somewhat of a record, arrest them so we can pin them for all the burglaries, one cop, Anthony Delatorre, said in an internal probe ordered in 2014. They were basically doing this to have a 100% clearance rate for the city. In a report from that probe, 4 officers, a third of the small force, told an outside investigator that they were under marching orders to file the bogus charges to improve the department's crime stats. Only Delatorre specifically mentioning targeting blacks, but former Biscayne Park village manager Heidi Shafran, who ordered the investigation after receiving a string of letters from disgruntled officers, said the message seemed clear for cops on the street. The letters said police were doing a lot of bad things. It said police officers were directed to pick up people of color and blame the crimes on them. Beyond the apparent race targeting, the report, never reviewed in village commission meetings, described a department run like a dysfunctional frat house. It outlines allegations that the brass openly drank on duty, engaged in a host of financial shenanigans, and that the number 2 in command during the period, Captain Lawrence Churchman, routinely spouted racist and sexist insults. Amid the probe, Tiziano abruptly resigned in 2014. Afterward, there was a stark change in the village crime-busting statistics. During his roughly 2-year tenure as chief, 29 of 30 burglary cases were solved, including all 19 in 2013. In 2015, the year after he left, records show village cops did not clear a single one of 19 burglary cases. Village leaders say they have since overhauled the department, calling the ousted police chief's actions appalling. Sorry about that. Get back to where I was. This computer is sensitive sometimes. You barely tap it and it just, just starts scrolling. Tiziano, 52, has strongly denied the allegations. He pleaded not guilty in the federal case and is now awaiting trial on charges of civil rights violations. Two of his former officers, Raul Fernandez and Charlie Deob, also have pleaded not guilty and are awaiting a trial. Sources say they are cooperating against their one-time boss. The federal charges doesn't raise allegations of racial profiling, but records show the false charges were filed against a black Haitian American teen identified only as TD in the indictment. Whether or how many other blacks might have been targeted is unclear. State and local arrest records differ somewhat, but of the 30 burglary arrests documented in 2013 and 2014, nearly all were of black males. But at least one other case is under review in an ongoing investigation. The arrest of a black transient man, Erasmus Banma, 35, who was charged with 5 vehicle burglaries on the same day in February 2014. Each was dropped immediately by prosecutors when Biscayne Park cops failed to cooperate, records show. Of course, because the man didn't do it. That's insane. Commanders dispute allegations. Both Tiziano and Churchman, who was not named in the indictment, deny pressuring officers to make unwarranted arrests or to target blacks. In 2014, they disputed the officers' allegations to the village's outside investigator, and they repeated that defense to the Herald. The former chief argues that he demanded diligence from his officers, not illegal actions. His attorney pointed blame at Tiziano's former underlings for any resulting problematic arrest. Encouraging or even demanding the public employees raise their performance levels to meet the citizens' expectations is not an invitation for those public employees to cut corners or falsify documents, his defense attorney Richard DeCobo told the Herald. Anna Garcia, who served as a village manager when Tiziano was first elevated to chief in January 2013, said the federal charges of framing a teen conflicted with the chief's reputation in the village. She left the role before Shafran took over while Tiziano quietly stepped down in April 2014. Everyone thought highly of him. This comes as a total shock, not only to me but everyone in the community. Biscayne Park's Little Police Department has been on the radar of state and federal prosecutors for years. With a population of just over 3,000 residents and less than 1 square mile in size, the little village has produced an outside share of scandals, mostly surrounding its cops. The department of about a dozen sworn officers, once housed in a historic log cabin, but now based at Village Hall, was long infamous for ticketing speeders. But over the last decade, the department has also seen an officer arrested on charges of holding his wife hostage, a troubled officer sued for excessive force, and another officer charged with beating a suspect. At the helm with Tiziano, a burly and mustached officer who was hired in 2008 and worked his way through the ranks while penning a column in the village newsletter warning residents to beware of trespassers and to report people crossing the railroad track. Tiziano had come to the village after an earlier case involving a doctored arrest record. In 2006, Tiziano, then a sergeant in Sunny Isles Beach, agreed to leave there after investigators discovered he'd forged a man's name on a notice to appear in court after police arrested him for marijuana. Prosecutors told him to resign or face arrest. Tiziano left, but landed with Biscayne Park 2 years later and rebuilt his reputation. The village named him Officer of the Year in 2011. 2 years later, he was promoted to replace the retiring chief, and he immediately began touting impressive progress in solving home break-ins and property crimes, always a priority issue in otherwise quiet suburbs. This year, as we stand, we have 100% clearance rate on burglary cases in the village of Biscayne Park. Tiziano declared to hearty applause during a commission meeting in July 2013. This is the first time I've ever known that to happen in my department that I've ever been in. This is ridiculous. Alright, so this man, okay, I mean, he's a liar. You know, he's a dirty cop. I mean, he's literally just doing whatever to have people arrested. You know, he got basically forced to resign from this other department he was working at in Sunny Isles Beach because he forged a man's name on a notice to appear in court. Come on now. I mean, I don't know. This is crazy. Just ridiculous, okay? And for him to and seeing it makes me wonder, was that man black too? It didn't say. The man that he forged the name on the paper. Excuse me. But this is just terrible that, you know, he's just going around arresting black people just to have a name, you know, just to have a crime solved. You know, to put a name to it and close it out. That's just ridiculous. How about actually do the job and find the person that did it? You know what I'm saying? Wouldn't that make a lot more sense? I'm so sorry, y'all. Hold on. This thing right here is popping up. Watch. Okay. But, I mean, wouldn't that make more sense? I mean, that defeats the whole purpose. Wow, I'm gonna lock an innocent person up and leave the criminal out on the street to keep doing whatever it is that they're doing. I mean, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard, because now instead of the crime rate going down, the crime rate goes up. That's just, you know, some people don't think. And that's just that's just the common sense part of it, what I just said. That doesn't even get into the, you know, how terrible it is that you're discriminating against people and you're just locking innocent people up just because of their skin color. That's what I don't get. I've never been the type of person to understand how anyone can treat another person in such a hateful manner just because of the shade of their skin. That's what people forget to realize. We're all the same. All of us are the same. Okay, we're all the same. Some people might be lighter. Some people might be darker. Some people might have, you know, it doesn't matter what scale you fall in, whether it's black, white, Asian, it don't matter. Okay? This is what people need to realize. Your skin color, okay? The covering on the outside of our body is our skin, alright? The only reason some people are darker than others, some people are lighter than others, is because of melanin. Melanin, okay? Some people have more than others. Some people have less than others. Some people are right in the middle. This is what causes our skin to be different. This is what causes everyone's skin to look different, you know. Like, well, I can't say everybody looks different because, you know, a lot of people look the same. It don't matter. The point is, this is why everybody's skin, like some people's lighter than others. Why some people are considered white, some people are considered black, some people are considered tan. You know, you have white people that tan well. You know what I'm saying? Like you have some white people that don't tan at all. They burn because they have a big lack of melanin. Okay, that's all it is. It is melanin. It is something that we all have in our body. Okay, everybody has melanin. It doesn't matter what color you are. Everybody's got melanin. All right, it's just that the darker the person, the more melanin you have. It's just as simple. Okay, it's not. I just don't get it because we're all the same. We're all the same. All of us. And it sickens me to see people being treated with such, with such hatred, okay, because of skin color. And this goes for everybody. Okay, I don't care who you are. I don't care what your race is. I don't care what your skin color is. I don't care who you are. I don't care where you're from. I don't like to see anybody treated a certain type of way because of the color of their skin. It just makes me sick. Okay? And that's what this man has done. And he's basically held people's jobs over their heads. That, like, you know, basically, like, if they don't do it, they gotta find another job. Okay, so back onto this article. Sorry, y'all. It really gets me upset. Things like this. It really does. It disgusts me. Department in turmoil. Behind the scenes, records show the department was in turmoil. That became clear over the following year as former village manager Chiffron began receiving what wound up to be 10 separate letters, some signed, some not, laying out an array of problems, topped by the potentially explosive allegation for targeting blacks for unwanted arrest. It was 2014, a few months before national protest erupted over the treatment of black men by police with a white officer shot and killed Michael Brown in Ferguson, Missouri. About a quarter of Biscayne-Bark's population is black. Chiffron immediately hired a private investigator to investigate the claims. As the probe unfolded, the village suspended churchman and Corporal Nicholas Walschlager, the department's third in command. She also fired off a letter to Tiziano ordering him to cooperate fully with the investigator. He resigned 5 days later. Guilt. One allegation was made public at the time that a police officer, Thomas Harrison, had loaned Tiziano $2,000 and the chief agreed to repay him in off-duty and overtime shifts. An ethics investigation found no evidence the loan existed other than Harrison's word. That was benign in comparison to the other allegations the officer raised with Jesse Scott, the private investigator hired to handle the internal probe. And this is the Captain Lawrence Churchman. Okay, he got fired too, or was forced to resign. Many of the officers' complaints focused on Churchman, a former Sweetwater cop who was second in command in the village. Like his boss, Churchman had also had a history with altered records. Sweetwater had demoted him for allegations of falsifying education records to earn an extra $40 a week. Wow. $40 a week. Biscayne Park hired him in 2008. In the report, 7 fellow officers described the captain as the Tiziano's enforcer, belittling cops, threatening them with firing and bullying them into paying cash fees for working off-duty security gigs. and into paying insurance deductibles with cash when they got into an accident in their police cruisers. His disdain for minorities was common knowledge, Officer Harrison told the investigator. The report quotes officers saying Churchman used racial, homophobic, and gender slurs. The captain has said on different occasions he doesn't want any N's, F's, or women B's working at Biscayne Park. Wow. Y'all can fill in the blanks, okay? He uses racial, homophobic, and gender slurs. So there you go. Here's your words right here. Fill in the blanks. Common sense tell you what it is. It's ridiculous. Slurs, a ridiculous lie. Churchman, through his attorney, denied using such language. In response to questions from the Herald, lawyer Christy Castlebaum issued a statement quoting her client. That is a ridiculous lie. That's just not the way I think, and certainly not the kind of language I use in public or in private. In all, 4 officers interviewed by Scott said the command staff told them to frame people, but only Delator specifically said that they were ordered to target blacks. In his statement, Officer Omar Martinez said that after a string of vehicle break-ins, the command staff told him there was only one way to attain a 100% clearance rate on property crimes. Martinez told if he saw anyone walking in the village at night and if they had any type of past at all to arrest them and somehow tried to charge them with the burglaries, even if they weren't the ones who committed it. Martinez singled out Walschlager as the commander who gave the orders, but Martinez said he refused to carry them out because it was illegal and unethical. He also wrote the village manager saying, I will not arrest an innocent person in order to make the department look good. This week, Walschlager told the Herald that he was absolutely not involving in giving such orders and wasn't aware that the other commanders, Tiziano and Churchman, issued them either. It caught me by surprise, especially having my name mentioned. Walschlager, who met with FBI agents several times as their investigation gained momentum this year, said he was told that Martinez recanted his accusation against him under questioning. Reached by phone, Martinez refused to comment. Walschlager, who was still a commander at the village, and Martinez are among only a few officers still left on the Biscayne Bay force from Tiziano's tenure. Churchman left in July 2014 when the Internal Affairs report was completed. In a statement through his lawyer, he said the police chief and detective bureau handle burglary cases and crime statistics, not him. It is ridiculous to believe that I would encourage sworn officers to falsify crime reports and to pin crimes on innocent people when clearing crimes was not my responsibility, Churchman said in a statement. Biscayne Park's Badlands. In the federal case, the apparent patsy picked to take the rap for 4 unsolved 2013 burglaries was a black Haitian American 16-year-old who lived with his family in a duplex on Northwest 12th Court. It's alongside the railroad tracks in an area Biscayne Park cops used to call the Badlands. This is so sad. So they picked this 16-year-old boy to take the rap for 4 burglaries. That is insane. TD, okay, which is the boy, okay, because in the state of Florida they can't release a juvenile's names. Even in the court system, they have it listed as their initials, okay? TD, now 21, could not be reached for comment, but records show he was well known to village officers. TD's first encounter with Biscayne Park cops came when he was arrested for trespassing. While crossing the Florida East Coast Railroad tracks to get home, village police regularly arrested people for trespassing because the department had an agreement with the Florida East Coast Railway police to patrol the private property. In 2013, in February, an officer named Guillermo Ravello claimed he tried to pull TD over. After a dangerous high-speed car chase, Ravello claimed the team bailed out on foot and ran off. Ravello later wrote that he identified TD from a records check, but that claim contradicted the officer's own account, which noted TD had no valid driver's license and was driving a BMW with temporary tags. TD wasn't arrested right away. Instead, Ravello entered a juvenile pickup order form for him. Ravello now faces charges himself. He plans to plead guilty this month to unrelated federal civil rights charges that he assaulted 2 people and falsified arrest reports in that case. 4 months later, North Miami police arrested TD and accused him of raping. Oh my God. After daring her to drink a bottle of Barbancourt rum, according to an arrest report. Because of the outstanding pickup order, Biscayne Park police were notified the same day, June 13, 2013. That was the same day federal prosecutors say Biscayne Park officers Fernandez and Deob, at the direction of Tiziano, charged the team with 4 previously unsolved burglaries in occupied homes. The arrest records are sketchy by any measure, listing no witnesses, fingerprint evidence, confessions, or even property stolen. Instead, the reports use the same vague language that the investigation revealed. TD employed the same name, MO, and the homes had a rear door pried open. The Miami-Dade State Attorney's Office soon dumped all the cases, including the accusations of fleeing and eluding in the rape case. No formal charges were ever filed against TD, but state police corruption, prosecutors, and investigators continued looking at the circumstances of the arrest, pulling arrest data, and working with federal counterparts to build a case against the Tiziano and the 2 officers. A trial date has been scheduled for July 23rd, but is expected to be postponed. New police leadership. Today, Biscayne's village leaders say they have almost completely overhauled the department since Tiziano's resignation. This all happened long ago, said current village manager Krishan Manners. And as far as the village is concerned, we have cleaned up the police department and continue to strive to make it better. In June, the village hired as its top Luis Cabrera, a former high-ranking Miami police officer. He says he's audited the evidence room, restructured the command staff, and is getting civil rights training for officers. Thank God. Cabrera made Walschlager his second in command despite being entangled in the 2014 internal investigation. The investigation concluded Walschlager drank on duty and ordered suspect burglary arrest, but the department's now chief reversed course and cleared Walschlager. He left the Biscayne Park force this spring for a command post in North Bay Village, was soon let go after news broke about the indictment of Tiziano and other officers. Cabrera said he decided to rehire Walschlager in June. The manager and I had discussions with the FBI. They made it very clear that Nick was never a target or a subject. He was cooperating witness who helped them. This is absolutely terrible. And this is the problem. This is the main part of the problem now, okay? We see so much police brutality. We see a lot of police injustice, all right? And it's more so with the black community, okay? And I can agree with that. I cannot sit here and say, you have people that say, oh, well, they beat on white people all the time. We just don't see it. Okay, well, usually, if we don't see something, we hear about it, right? You hear about it and you see things through social media. If this was happening all the time, Don't you think we would be seeing something through social media? Because I really can't remember one time seeing something like that on social media. But however, I can remember multiple times police beating up innocent black men or innocent black people, okay, or killing innocent black men. I can remember that quite a bit, a lot, even recently. See it all the time. Okay, this is the problem. This is the problem with the world, well, with our country right now. It's so much racism, and people can say, oh, well, there's not a lot of, no, racism has died down. But no, it has not. No, it has not. And it's a major problem that we have in our country, and I just don't understand why. I don't understand why everybody can't be treated the same. I don't understand why people have to be scared to get in their car and drive because, God forbid they might be pulled over, and next thing you know, that might be the last moment they remember because they get shot or they get killed in some way, or God forbid they get blamed for something that they haven't done, or it's always something. It's always something. And these are things that we shouldn't have to fear. Nobody should have to fear these things. And it's sad. It's really sad. Because, the police are people that we're supposed to be able to trust, to call on when we have a problem. When something's going down and it's out of our hands and we need help from the police, it makes people scared to call the police for help when they're the ones doing a lot of the crimes, a lot of the racially like inflicted crimes. It makes no sense. None at all. So I wanted to show this to y'all because there's a lot of injustice going around everywhere and a lot of corruption, and it really disgusts me, okay? But it really makes me sick because this is in the state that I live in. This is in Florida, and it really makes me sick. And they need to check the Daytona Beach Police Department too, because Daytona Beach Police Department, they're just as bad. Like they're terrible police department. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and play this for you real quick. Well, if it don't play.
And one of the great things about being the chief of police of Biscayne Park is that we are truly a family here. A family who works together and is joined by one common cause, which is the protection of life and property for the residents of the village of Biscayne Park. For May, we have Detective Raul Fernandez. And before Raul sit down, I want to give you something that I'm also very proud of. This year, as we stand, we have a 100% clearance rate on burglary cases in the village of Biscayne Park. This is the first time that I've ever known that to happen in any department that I've ever been in. He's a big part of the reason.
Yeah. See, these men, they need to be put away in jail. They should never be allowed to work on a police force again. And that's what I don't get. They get fired or forced to resign from one police department, and then they just hop on to the next and start doing the same crap at that police department. This is crazy. And did you hear how he was bragging? Oh, we have 100% clearance rate. That's the first time this has ever happened on a force that I've ever worked on. You know? Yeah, because you're locking innocent people up. Of course you're going to have a 100% clearance rate. But it's ridiculous because now the crime rate skyrockets because these criminals get away with it. They're like, oh, well, I just got away with killing somebody. Let me go do it again. Or, oh, we just broke in 4 houses. They locked this kid up. Let's go break in some more. They're not watching us. They think they already got the person. Let's go do it again. All this does is give people motivation to keep doing the crime because they're not getting locked up for it. They see other people, innocent people, getting locked up. This makes no sense to me. It's crazy. And the sad thing is, if there was anybody that did what I said, like say if someone goes and kills somebody, they go kill somebody, and somebody else, they say an innocent person get locked up for that. Who's to know that this person hasn't killed multiple people and innocent people have gotten locked up for it? Okay, now it turns into where you have a serial killer on the loose, but it don't look like that because they're locking innocent people up for each murder. You see what I'm saying? It's crazy. Where is the justice and where is the fairness of all this? It just makes me so sick. Okay? And the people that live in this town should be scared. They have a reason to be scared, okay? Because it's like, if you're black, then you have a reason to be scared because you might get locked up. If you're white or any lighter shade, then you really need to be scared because these people that are doing the crimes are not getting locked up. The innocent people are getting locked up. The criminals are still out there to do it again. You know, it's sick. It's sick what they're doing. So I wanted to show this to y'all, okay, because corruption is everywhere. Corruption is everywhere, all over, right under our noses, and we don't even see it. Okay, so I wanted to show this as an eye-opener that this is what is going on in the world. And, you know, it's up to us to pay attention to certain things with these police, you know. So I wanted to show this to y'all. Y'all have a wonderful day. I love y'all. Until the next time, I'll talk to y'all later. If y'all want to send me anything, you can feel free to do so on my email, or you can add me on Facebook and send whatever you like through Messenger. If y'all have not subscribed to my other channel yet, please click on the link down below. Subscribe, and don't forget to hit that notification bell. Thank you. Love y'all. Have a wonderful day.